Good morning, y'all. I have I've attempted to record this video, I don't know, for 2 weeks at least. We had so much bad weather there for a week that, it was hard to get out here. Most of the footage I had was come out, take a picture of the 5.5 inches of water in the rain gauge, and then go back in. So the week before last, we had, over the course of 8 days, we had 15 inches of rain out here. And it was not just here. Just Mississippi in general was just getting hammered. Really hammered. Very bizarre June weather for us. June is usually the one month we get off from tornadoes and torrential rain. And, not this year, clearly. Our tornado season runs from November through May, and then June starts hurricane season, as we all know. But normally there are no hurricanes in June, and so we get that month off. We're frying down here, but we still get the month off from bad weather. So anyway, in pretty much every video, I told y'all that I can't seem to grow watermelons. I can clearly grow the vines. But look what I found. I think this one is a Crimson Sweet. Now, when I say I have not been able to grow watermelons, I can usually get them to about this size, and then they just stop growing. Don't know, have no idea why. I actually assumed it's the heat. Even watermelons don't like heat past 95, and today alone, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's already 90 degrees. It's going to hit 97 with a heat index of about 110. And all next week is going to be worse. Wednesday and Thursday, we hit 102. And what might really be the clincher for the rest of my garden is that our nighttime temps are barely going to drop below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I'm going to do, I actually saw this on a video a few years back, and I thought, I hope I never have to do that. But it seemed to work. So what I'm probably going to have to start doing this week is in the evening, as opposed to watering my garden in the morning. In the evening, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to have to give ice water to my tomatoes, to my peppers, and to my watermelons, just to get them to cool down for the evening. If I don't, then I know they're going to be even more stressed than they already are in this heat. But 80 degrees is not a cool off period for nighttime for any veggie. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, excited for that. And then I found this one. This is some sort of yellow watermelon. I honestly don't know what the name of it is. I got it in a trade last year. Tried to grow it. Several of them got about the size of that one there, and then they just quit growing. And within a month, they had like a rotten spot on them. And then I also found this one. Hey, little buddy. Now this one here, if it manages to grow, this will be a moon and stars. So, see the spotted leaf, all the spots. So that watermelon there will also have spots. Finding a little baby there, looks like it was also pollinated. I'm just in shock that these things are pollinated, if I'm being honest with you, because I have gone through, you know what, trying to get them pollinated, and then lo and behold, I found this one, another yellow one. So I don't even know. If you've watched my previous gardening videos, you'd remember that I said I'm just going to come out here and start planting 2 or 3 seeds every week, and that's what I did. So I know for sure I put some yellow ones out here. Oh, and there's another one attempting to, don't know if that'll get pollinated, but I could do it by hand, but at this point, I may actually have too many pollinated ones, and I can't believe I'm saying that. There's another one. I'm amazed. I guess leaving it alone maybe made things start to finally happen. So I know for sure I have one. If that one can, tough it out with me until the end. You can see some more seeds that have sprouted back there that I popped in. Super excited for these watermelons, especially in this kind of heat. I mean, there's nothing better than I just take a watermelon and put it in a cooler, cover it with ice for an hour or so. Oh, heaven. It appears my poorest sunflower, my three-headed one, even though it was one of the only two I managed to save from the weather, I think it actually, because it also got, you can see this one here, that was blown down. This one was also blown down, and I was hoping maybe if I stood it back up and tied it to this, it would make it, but these bachelor buttons are blooming. They're so pretty, but they also got blown down, and so if you see, I kind of got them pushed over here and stuck inside this tomato cage that I've got green beans hooked to, trying to keep it up. Queens of Field marigolds, they're starting to look rough now. That heat's really starting to wear on. But I tell you what, these have been phenomenal. Just absolutely beautiful. And they lasted through weather even I didn't think they could last through. And my beautiful get out of the way, sun, omnicolor peppers. The bees are everywhere, as you can see. This is bee balm that didn't even start to take off until I got all the carrots out of here. These poor cucumbers, man, I can't believe they're still growing. Yes, I'm talking to a camera kitty. I know I look silly. Yep. There's a few on here. Kind of surprised me. I think we got a few. Another one. Really thought these were toast. I was surprised to even see any new flower blooms on there. Because for, let's say, 2 weeks, there was nothing on here. I thought they were done for. So, and then these beans that I knew were not going to make it. A couple. That looks flat. Oh, not very big. That's Kentucky pole bean, I think. Well, that one looks good. That's about the way I like to pick them. Whew, that's hot. So I had gotten some little miniature cucumber seeds in the mail. I don't know. Oh, look. Oh, I bet the bees aren't going to find that little flower. So I planted these. I really kind of knew I wasn't going to have the time to get these growing before it got so hot. So I will be replanting all this. My green beans, my cucumbers. I will replant all of these in, say, 3 more weeks. And then I'll get a huge fall crop because our fall, or our cool down, then our fall lasts much longer than our spring. Our spring's about 6 weeks long, and then it turns to hell. So I really know that I can't grow green beans, but I do it anyway. And even this has got a cuke. And then I found one wrapped around the trellis here. So I might actually end up getting enough for 1 more jar of cucumbers. These marigolds I have no idea what kind they are. Just packaged just as marigold on it. You see they're green, but they haven't put out a lot of blooms like the others have. So, but yeah, I cannot believe this little miniature cute plant actually grew enough to get one flower on it. And then this one, okay, so here we go. Here's another one. I truly will be surprised if these got pollinated. They're very tiny. And I just stuck them in here with these two green bean plants that I should be pulling out. Probably should have already pulled them out, but they were putting on beans, so I left them. And you can see this Malabar spinach back here is starting to grow. So that lady was right. They do like the heat and the humidity, because the hotter it gets, the faster these things are starting to grow. So sometime this next week, I'm gonna pull this. This is two cucumber plants. I'm gonna pull them out. That'll give the Malabar spinach access to the sun. So hopefully it will grow up this trellis and provide a little bit of shade. Oh, look at that. There's even still another flower on that green bean. I can't believe it. Most of the other green beans I've grown, they're usually long dead by June. They might last me until the end of May. This basil went wild, which is what I hoped. And then there's this pepper plant. Let's see, I know I saw a big pepper on here. There it is. Oh, wow. I may have left that a bit too long. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a little big. So, I'm actually waiting on my friend to come by so I can pick it off for her husband. I didn't want to pick it off and then it'd be a few days before they came by and it turned to rubber, you know, as they do. We've got a lot of peppers off this. This is actually two plants right here. Lots of peppers. Surprising, actually, how many we've gotten. Another one starting to cry. Whew. Okay. And if you look in there, you'll see that my Aji has its first ripe pepper right there. And there's another one right there. I'm so excited about this pepper plant. Oh, this basil smells so good. Take off some of these. Oh, wish y'all could smell that. Smells so good. And if you really like basil, you know, you can pick you a couple of these. I recommend with the Italian basil, just pick you a few of these, stick it in your water and have some basil water. Cool you down out here in this heat. Oh, it smells so good. The purple cayenne pepper plant starting to fill back up. One right here. This one's Sugar Rush Peach. No ripe ones yet. I have one bell pepper. Well, I actually have a few more, but on that plant, just one. And this one here is chocolate. Holy moly, it's hot. And then what has turned out to be my favorite flower are these zinnias. I just can't say enough good things about them. And the fact that one zinnia seed will produce multiple colored, let me get out of the way of the sun again, multiple colored heads. That surprised me. And then it's got a third head here, which looks like, actually looks like it's going to be red. So pretty, so cool. There's one, three head, pink, and then dark pink, fuchsia, whatever you want to call it. This one still so far is my favorite. I love that color. Got the first eggplant. Excited for that. I really didn't think I was going to be able to grow any. Just one, but there are multiple blooms on here. Hopefully these will make some eggplants. This might be something else that also has to be grown in late summer for fall here because of the heat. Ground cherry. I have picked every single ripe. So good. So good. Two kinds again, Aunt Molly's and I forgot the other one. Aunt Molly's and pineapple ground cherry. Oh, I can't remember now. Anyway, ground cherry. Just look it up. You won't regret it. This poor little micro dwarf is now starting to tell me it's not a fan of the heat here. I'm not either, buddy. But look at all the new tomatoes they put on before the leaves started dying on me. I've gotten probably 40 off this plant already. Just beautiful. This is calico, black pearl. For some reason, my milkweed has suddenly started growing back in this heat, which is bizarre in itself. Fish pepper. Go ahead and pull this one off. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that was... Oh. How cool is that? I didn't even know that was on there. So apparently the heat on these is based off what color they are when you pull them. I actually thought this was the ripe one, but that is most definitely ripe. See how they're different colors? Now, I think I've told y'all before. Oh, I'll see what I did. I pulled the wrong one. I thought it was this one right here that I was pulling. If I can get it off. Let's see. Look at that. That is so pretty. It's orangey with a little bit of yellow and then green stripes. And like I said, I didn't see a single picture of these that had purple on them. I guess it's just because they're so in the sun. But that sucker right there, that's definitely ripe. And that is such a beautiful orange color too. I wouldn't have pulled these, but my friend, she's coming by in a bit. And so I'm going to go ahead and pulling these now for her husband. He said I gave him one the other day. He said he really liked this. And then I had some, thought I had some, start growing down here at the bottom. Yes, I did. One right down here at the soil. And another one. Weird looking little plant. I still think it may have gotten stunted. I think I put it out here a week or so too soon. The rest of them did fine. But I think this one may have stunted. But beautiful. That's a beautiful pepper right there. I don't think these are very hot. A lot of people put these in seafood. Hence the name fish pepper. So, I guess that's what you use them for. You can use them for anything, but I do know a lot of people will grind this up and add it to seafood. I can't get over that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Also, what I can't get over are these strawberry plants. Look how beautiful they are. I can't believe they're even alive. When I tell y'all it's hot out here, that's an understatement. But not only still pretty, they're still producing. I pulled I didn't have my phone out here with me at the time, but I pulled a couple of ripe ones off when I first walked out here. There's some more here. And they're just so pretty. Oh, there's a few little dead leaves. I'm surprised they're not a lot more, being honest with you. But and I've actually started to make yet another plant right there. And then over here around this side, I think I've got two separate plants growing in here. When it finally started putting off runners, that's where you make your extra plants from. So if those root, and I think they will, oh, look at that. That's going to be a third one right there. Okay, so do y'all see that right there? That's a crown. So you need to get this into soil, and this right here will start putting out roots. And then once it has roots, you cut it loose from the plant that it came from, and you instantly have another strawberry plant. You'll never have to buy another strawberry plant again. So that's exciting for me, especially considering that's how I got this plant. I created it from a plant I bought at Lowe's. Don't know what kind, but the rest of these are all Old North Sea. Delicious strawberries. And finally, my favorites, tomatoes. So, as I said, I've been trying to record this for at least 2 weeks, but we had so much bad weather and so much rain and so much damage to my garden from several days of hail. We had several days without power for hours, a ton of rain, which we have more on the way. It's going to get bad here in just a little bit, but my tomato plants are still going strong. You see up here, I've got some hornworm damage, and this plant was actually basically decapitated by the wind, or it could have been the hail that hit it. I don't know. I haven't cut this off right there. I'm going to leave it until this sucker gets grown out, and then I'll cut it off and we'll just have a new head. This is Black Beauty. Prolific plant. I can't say enough good things about this plant. I've given many of the tomatoes away. In fact, most of them. My mail lady loved it. She left me a note asking me what these were called. She said her mother loved them, so I'm going to give a whole bunch more to her when they ripen up. Moonlight Mile. I'm going to go ahead and pick this. You know, in a perfect world, I would leave every tomato on the plant until they're ripe. But down here in the south, this is a beacon for birds or squirrels or pick a critter. They see the slightest hint of ripening and they'll attack it. So unfortunately, I can't leave many on until they're completely ripened if I actually want to be able to enjoy some of them myself. So I'll just put this on the counter and it'll be ripening, in a day or two. This KBX plant here, large, it's on 2 stakes. It originally only put on 3 tomatoes. None of them were a pound. There was a 10 ounce, a 13 ounce, and a 15.5 ounce. But now it's got multiples. I think there are at least 8 or 10 tomatoes on here now, which is, I'm happy about it. I'm just kind of surprised. These plants are known for not giving you a lot of tomatoes, because they're really big. Now these 2 came on in the middle of all the storming. They do not look good. They're very split already at the top, and I haven't given them a drop of water. That's just from all the rain. But there's a lot more very pretty ones that have come on just in the last couple days. I might actually end up pulling those 2 off, just so that the plant can put its energy elsewhere. And then Hazel May, the one that gave me my 1.5 pound tomato, it has just 1. But it's got some very pretty new flowers on it. Those will be very large if even one of them, especially that one right there. That'll be pretty large if it makes it. Considering how hot we're about to get. Yesterday was 97. Today we're going to get a ton of rain. I think we're only going to hit like 94. But the heat index is just, the humidity and the heat index. We got the rain coming by noon. I don't know how many inches we're going to get, but it's going to be a storm. So I'll wait until that comes and goes, and then I'll get my shade cloth put up. If I don't get it put up now, there's no chance these will survive until September, when it starts to cool back down again, and then I'll get basically a third crop of tomatoes, if I can keep them alive. Streets of Broken Lanterns. Harvested my first one of these yesterday. This still needs a couple of days to ripen, but it's the side that was facing the sun this way was completely red, but the other side is still green. So hopefully that big one will ripen up in a couple of days. And you see it's got new tomatoes on the top. There are still flowers on these plants right now, which I expect that to also cease in the next week. Abe Lincoln, as I've said before, terrible at the bottom, beautiful at the top. There's new tomatoes on it. This monkey ass tomato, that's well over 10 feet. I don't actually know how tall it is, but it's way up there. I added another stake to the top of that stake, which is attached to that stake. So yeah, it's way up there. Very strange plant. There's right there. There's a couple down at the bottom. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. And I'm going to pull it because we have all that rain coming. And again, beacon for tomatoes. I mean for critters. Big tomato, not very heavy. But you can see it's blushing on the bottom. Weird looking, looks like a walnut. Or at least that's what it reminds me of. Both of them, they look like walnuts. You can see the starting to crack on the top from all of the rain. I'm actually amazed that all of my tomatoes just didn't split wide open. 15 inches is a lot, especially in 8 days' time. Not heavy. It's kind of large, but not a heavy tomato. I'd guess, I don't know, 8 ounces at the most. This will be my first one of these. I'm excited for this. The plant is called monkey ass. That's not me being silly. Something I haven't been showing y'all much of recently are these new starts for fall. I will up pot these here in maybe tomorrow after all the rain comes and goes. I'll put these in just some solo cups, and they'll stay just until the end of July, and then because I'll be surprised if that monkey ass plant lasts much longer, and it will be replaced by one of these. These are all purple top tomatoes in some form. Black vernissage, purple perfection, and black creme. I've had black creme a couple of years. I just haven't been able to grow it yet, so we're growing it now. And lastly, I'll leave y'all with a shot of these beautiful hibiscus flowers. I planted these very late summer of 2020 in my garden bed. Dug them up in 2021. a friend took them to her house. It sprouted this huge green plant. It was too big for the pot she has, so she brought it back. That's it right there. But in the meantime, hey. I don't know if y'all saw that bee, but anyway, I'd planted 2. So she took that one home, and I dug that one out of my garden bed and I put it right here. It didn't do anything. These are also hibiscus seeds that I planted last year. They didn't get much taller than that. They didn't, do anything. But this one, has surprised me this year. But these are the first blooms ever. Those will open soon. And they're so pretty. They almost look like roses to begin with. And then they just get long and like that. And then they open up. Just beautiful. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what they would look like, but these are gorgeous. And the bees and the hummingbirds, love them. I'm going to plant a whole bunch more. Look at that. I've already got some dried out cosmo seeds. Very soon for that, but we'll take them. Need to go put these up. Okay, y'all, I'll, some more. If you have cosmos and aren't sure how to collect the seeds, this is it. Wait for them to look like that right there. See all those spikies sticking out? I'm gonna have to walk around to get those. I don't want to risk losing them. Oh, there's actually a few more. Okay, yeah, but this is how you save cosmo seeds. And every one of these cosmo plants right here, and there are, tell you what, let me walk around. Most of these cosmos are from seeds I saved from last year's cosmos. My cosmos last year grew to 10 or 12 feet tall. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. But anyway, I got a ton of seeds from them and replanted them, as you can see. Some of these are actually volunteers. I've actually picked a bunch that are just kind of all over the yard out here and through the fence. But there you go. You want to save cosmo seeds? Just wait till they dry off. You can barely touch them. I'm in the sun, but see those? Just barely pull them towards you. There you go. Another little bunch. You'll have cosmo seeds forever. But yeah, okay. Y'all have a great week. My next video will be cooking. I've got a very long list at this point. But today it will definitely be something quick and that doesn't heat the kitchen up. Y'all take care.